All right, friends, again, happy Friday and welcome to your reading lesson for the day. So we're going to have a two-part lesson where we're going to talk about elements of drama and characterization. So characterization is actually part of drama or part of a play, but it's also part of all of our other stories. Characterization is how we learn about our characters from the text. Okay, so let's write that on there. How we learn about the characters, right? And remember, the characters are the people in our story, and our characterization really comes from three things, right? It's going to come from details in the text, like what they're doing and things like that, but I wanted to talk about three big things here. So first thing is dialogue. So dialogue is what they say. All right. So this is going to be conversations, if I can spell, with others. And then sometimes they also might speak directly to the audience. And we can talk way more about that, but so that we can say conversations with others or maybe talking to the audience. And I'm also going to say or to themselves or themselves, right? I ran out of room for my S. Talking to the audience or themselves. So this might be thoughts that we as the audience members can hear, or it might be them straight talking to the audience and explaining what's happening. But what they say can give us a lot of an idea of who they are, right? So in your story this week, you have these two characters, and they talk back and forth. They talk about what's going on in the story, all of that stuff. And how they say things to each other, how they talk to each other is going to give us a lot of insight into what they are like, okay? And part of that is going to be interaction. So this would be what they do. And we're going to say with others. So with other characters. How do they interact? And dialogue might be part of that interaction, but are they really aggressive? Are they really angry and pushing people? Are they bumping into people? Are they really affectionate? Are they giving lots of hugs and smiling all the time? How are they interacting or working with other characters in the story? Okay. And then the last piece that can give us a lot of, let's put some more stuff here. So what they do with others. So let's say physical or body language, right? So how they physically interact with each other. And let's say how they carry themselves. So do they walk around grumpy? Oh my goodness, I cannot spell today, guys. So sorry. Themselves. Goodness. How they carry them. Are they walking out grumpy? Are they walking around with a big smile on their face all the time? What vibe are they giving out between themselves and other characters? Last but not least, we can learn a lot by comparing two characters or more. So, how are our characters alike or different, right? So we have these two main characters in our play this week. And part of what your assignment is going to be today is going to compare what they're like. So you're going to find lines of dialogue for Althea and for Rena. And then you're going to say what that line of dialogue tells us about that characterization. So super important that you read the directions. There's two scenes that you're going to use for to find your dialogue, and then use that dialogue to do your characterization. Okay? Now we're going to flip to the other side over here, and we're going to talk about elements of drama. There's really 3 that I want to focus on, just because we've talked a lot about characterization, which also contributes to drama. So first of all, we have scenes. A scene is a lot like a chapter of a book. So the scenes are the whole play broken up into chapters. So we have scene 1, this is what happens in scene 1, and then our setting might change a little bit to scene 2, and then all the stuff happens in scene 2. So our play is broken up into scenes, just like chapters of a book. These scenes all work together to create our plot. And as we know from the last few weeks, plot is what happens except now we're talking about what happens in the play, right? And the scenes, let's get a different color here, you know me. The scenes are going to work together to form the structure of the play's plot. Now, another super important thing are setting notes. So, our setting notes are going to be at the beginning of each scene, and it's going to tell us where and when it takes place. So, where and when a scene takes place. It's also going to give us important details. So it's going to help us as readers it helps us track what's going on. So it's going to help us, helps us track events. So what's happening in the plot in that particular scene. And it also helps us to kind of create a mental picture or visualize how this play would be acted out on stage. So, helps us track events and picture or visualize, right? Let's say visualize the scene. We'll just go with scene, okay? So visualize, and we're going to do a little, pull this out and make sure that we understand. Visualize means create a mental picture. So those setting notes, it might say, let me see if I can find one. The setting is early morning in the last week of summer camp. That's at the beginning of scene 5. So right away, you're able to picture, okay, we're still at the summer camp, but it's our last week of summer camp and it's early in the morning. So that can kind of help you create that mental picture. Okay, this is what's going on before you start to read what's happening in the scene, okay? Excuse me. So for today's assignment, like I said, you're going to do a characterization activity first, where you're going to look at some dialogue and explain how that dialogue helps you understand the characterization for Althea and Rena in 2 different scenes. And then you're going to do a fill in the blank talking about elements of drama. So make sure that you come back and you reference your elements of drama. You can either drag and drop or you can type each word in its spot, whichever is easiest for you. All right, friends. Other than that, that's all I have for reading today. I will see you when I see you. If I don't see you before the end of today, have a fantastic holiday weekend, and I miss you already. Peace out, 5A.